Welcome, everyone. Once again, we are live today, and I'm here to talk about the public charge, and I'm here again to talk about affidavit of support. These two have been very key issues. People have been talking, and especially people who are processing for the green card, whether be green card through marriage, whether be green card through work, whether be green card through any other family ways you can be able to get green card, but also most importantly for those who are DV lottery winners are getting confused and do not know whether the public charge is a required document or not a required document. So in this video, we are going to explore, we are going to respond to so many issues with regard to public charge and also affidavit of support. And here you can be able to get the answer whether you need to go ahead and uh, prepare for what we call the affidavit of support. Uh, in case today is your first time to come across to my YouTube channel, welcome everyone. If you are brand new here to my YouTube channel, you can be able to subscribe to my YouTube channel. That means you can be able to be one among the members of the EBM Scholars. And for those who have been listening to me on my podcast, which is EBM Scholars Podcast, thank you so much, each and everyone. So go here and click subscribe, and also make sure that you are going to check the video, the audios on my podcast, which is you can get on Anchor, you can get on Spotify, you can get them on Apple. So there are so many ways you can be able to get my videos and my audios on podcast. So those are some of the things I want to make sure that we understand before we go to these two things. So number one, let us start with the affidavit of support. What does the word affidavit of support mean? Or the word, first of all, let's start with the affidavit. And what does the affidavit of support in the understanding or in the concept of immigration? What does it mean? Then we are going to answer what types of forms or what type of forms are there to constitute what you call public charge or what you call the affidavit of support in other ways. And then which one are still available and which one do you need to fill, which one you are not supposed to fill. Those questions are very critical to know them. In addition to that, we are going also on this particular session, we are going to determine if you are called for the interview, will be able to answer. Will you be able to be denied the visa, especially for the DV lottery winners, just because of the affidavit of support or not? So all those kind of questions I'll be able to answer today. So let me start with the word affidavit. In the law perspective, the word affidavit means it is an written statement confirmed by an oath or affirmation for use as an evidence in the court of law. That is the meaning of the word affidavit. So what does affidavit of support mean in the legal way and especially in the immigration? According to the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services, USCIS, what does that mean? Affidavit of support, as you can see on my screen, if you are checking right now on live, it says affidavit of support means is a legally enforceable contract and the sponsor's responsibility usually lasts until the family member or the individual either becomes a United States citizen or is credited with 40 quarters of work, usual 10 years. If you don't decide to become if you're a green card holder, you don't want to become a permanent, you don't want to become a United States citizen. So it takes up to 10 years for someone who considers himself or herself as a sponsor. I know you might have another question. I'm looking for someone to be my host in America. Is my host in America, is my host also considered as a sponsor? or who can be a sponsor? And does winning the DV lottery needs to have someone called a sponsor? Because people confuse between what we call the DV lottery and what we call, for instance, green card by marriage, green card by family members, green card by work. There are distinctions when it comes to the concept of sponsor. And who needs to be a sponsor? What are the responsibilities? What are the immigration status of that sponsor? Does the sponsor must be American citizen or green card holder, or someone not? Can a sponsor be your father who is not in American, who is in your own country? We are going to answer all those kind of questions, which are very, very critical. This is going to be at least a longer video and audio for those who are checking me on podcast. And at the end of this particular session, I'm going to respond to the questions which you have. So stay tight. And if you have questions, post your questions, and I'm going to answer your questions. So, when I was talking of affidavit support, there are a few things. We said it is the sponsor's responsibility. And also, when you go to read the document about the the affidavit of support itself, for instance, affidavit of support, you go to open. So there are different forms, but if you go to read this, the affidavit of support, in the end, is going to check if the permanent resident is going to become a public charge in the United States of America. In this way, this one is simply what we call the public charge. But people don't confuse with the document called public charge, which I'm going to mention about it, but that one which has been able to end. So, let me start with the public charge itself before I go to the affidavit of support. So, if you go to find what is public charge, last year, in the year 2020, beginning of the year 2020, the document, they were introducing what is called the public charge questionnaire. So this public charge questionnaire, this form, which was introduced in the year 2020, the purpose of it was of the public charge will be completed by immigration visa applicant who are subject to the ground of public charge in eligibility at section 21212, subsection A, subsection 4 of the Immigration and Nationality Act. Was the purpose of this particular one was to make sure that those who are coming as immediate relative, family-based, categories, employee-based, even the those who are coming and also the diversity visa applicants also must prove at the embassy before coming here that they are not going to be public charge. That means once they come here, they are good to go. They are not depending anything from the government of the United States of America. That was the purpose of this form. And who was supposed to fill this form? So there are so many people under this one. The relative of the immigrant visa applicant was this one. So there are those. So there are so many people who are supposed to fill this one, including the principal applicant of the diversity visa lottery. But the good news is this one: this form is no longer available. So if you go and click this link, the link which is the government link, where you can be able to find the public charge forms. That link is not, the form has been removed by the government because the public charge is no longer applicable to anybody who is coming to America. I'm going to repeat that one. The DS, Department of State number form 5540, public charge questionnaire, the form is currently unavailable. Why? Because that public charge was removed. Let me go and read on this one. So if you look on the affidavit of support, section 213A of the Immigration and Nationality Act, it says as follows. On November 2nd, 2020, that is when it is started, the United States District Court for the Northern Illinois vacated the inadmissibility of the public charge on the grounds of rule. They explained that one and it was amended, blah, 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 blah. Then from March, so this one I'm going to put this one in the link below. so that you can be able to read it by yourself. So this one, the final ruling of this one was to end the public charge, and that decision was also stayed by the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Seventh Circuit Court, and it was on March 9th, which was last week. The Seventh Court lifted its stay, and the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of Illinois, the order of vacating the public charge final rule went into effect. So for that particular case, if you read this one, there is no longer the use of the public charge. We immediately stopped applying the public charge final rule to all pending applications and petitions that would have been subject to the rule. Let me start with that one. Let me start with that one, that the public charge is no longer available. You are not subjected to public charge. So for that case, for that particular ground, the DV lottery winners, if you are outside of the United States of America, you are applying to come to America to the immigrant visa interview, you are not supposed to fill the form DS 5540 public charge questionnaire. That is no longer available. That is not allowed anymore. That's number one. So if the public charge has been removed, so there are people who are already in America who were supposed to fill the public charge, but on the different form. The public charge on the different form, so they say on March 9th, let me go here. On March 9th, on or after March 9th, 2021, applicants and the petitioners should not provide the information required solely by the public charge final rule. That means the applicants for the adjustment of status, people who are doing adjustment of status are those who are already in the United States, should not provide the form I-944, which is called the Declaration of Self-Sufficiency, or the evidence or documentation required on that form with their form 485. I-485 is the adjustment of status form. So I'm going first of all to point out those who are in America, they are no longer supposed to fill the form public charge. Here they call I-944 the Declaration of Self-Sufficiency. I usually tell people, even if I'm not an immigration lawyer, if you find any form with the word form with I, is that form under the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services. And the form with the word DS is the Department of State form, which is applicable at the embassy. But when you go to what we call the affidavit of support, you'll find two forms. There is one form is called the I-864 affidavit of support. This one is, I'm going to explain this one versus the affidavit of support number I-134 affidavit of support. So what is the difference between these two? What is the difference between these two forms? The I-134, which is also called the affidavit of support, and the affidavit of support of I-864. We have already established the fact that you are not allowed to submit the ground for public charge final rule, the DS 5540, that has been removed, is no longer applicable. So people are still confused. Should I fill the affidavit of support I-134? So who needs to fill this form? That is the question to ask yourself. And who needs to fill this form I-864? I will put in a very big difference first of all, then I'll go into detail. But the major difference is this one. The affidavit of support I-864, this one is supposed to be filled by people, individual who signs this affidavit of support becomes the sponsor once the intending immigrant becomes a lawful permanent resident. The sponsor is usually the petitioner who filled an immigrant petition on behalf of the intending immigrant. In a very simple way, this form is filled for those who are going to process the green card under the family-based immigration, or those who are going to fill or to do adjustment or to process the green card under the work sponsorship. So those are the two people are supposed to do that. So the responsibility of the sponsor supporting, I will talk about that one, and who can be a substitute. So all those kind of things. So you need to know that the I-8464, the affidavit of support, is supposed to fill by that one. The people who are going to do the immigration based on the green card, based on the fact that they are using either family or work immigration sponsorship. Then this one is for non-immigrant affidavit of support. This one is not for immigrant, but this one, number one, it can be applicable for many people, but number one, if someone is applying for fiancé visa, K visa, if someone, for instance, is applying for the fiancé visa, K visa, K1, is supposed to fill the affidavit of support of I-134. Sometimes people say, oh, even students are supposed to fill this form. Even people who are traveling are supposed to, people who are coming for the B1, B2 visa are supposed to fill the affidavit of support I-134. But if you are coming as an international student, when you apply for the school, you are supposed to show the bank statement to get I-20. So you go with the bank statement. So you don't need to fill the affidavit of support I-134 because you already show to the school you are going how you are going to pay for the school fees if you don't have scholarships. And then the same document you use to show to the school to get the I-20, you use the same document of financial documentation to the US Embassy in order to be given also the visa to show that you will be financially stable to survive in the United States. If you are coming as a tourist, you usually go to show, if you're coming for the invitation, who is inviting you, where are you going to stay, who is paying for your travel ticket, what assets do you have in your home country, so that you can prove that you will not become you cannot become illegal in America. So all those evidence you are going to show, technically they are proof of your income, proof of the asset that will be going back to your home country. So technically you are not supposed to fill another form of affidavit of support. So basically the I-134 and the I-864 green card lottery winners are not supposed to fill these forms because you are no longer allowed to fill the public charge in the first place. So that is bigger thing you need to understand. Even the form of the public charge has been removed. But people are asking, if that's the case, why some of the embassies are asking for the public charge? They're asking for the what we call the form which are required, like to get the what we call the affidavit of support. So let me give you the steps. These are the official steps if you win the DV lottery. So if you look here, it says if you have won the DV lottery, these are the steps you need to follow. They are very, very clear. They are steps which you need to follow. And among these steps, they will tell you what documents do you need at the embassy, what documents do you need to submit to KCC. Those documents which you need to submit in either of those, let me go and show you supporting document. These are the supporting documents. So these are the supporting documents. You are filling the documents. Usually we say the documents which are required by not by the KCC. First of all, is birth certificate, court or prison records, military records, police clearance, passport. If you are married, marriage certificate, all those kind of things you need to submit. But additional, when you go to the embassy, there are few things you need to know. Number one, they say the additional embassy or consulate instructions. This is very important. Civil and personal documents may differ from one country to another country depending on availability. There may be additional instructions for obtaining civil documents in a specific country, or additional documents required depending on the U.S. embassy or consulate where you will be able to apply. Select the embassy or consulate you will apply and learn what additional requirements there are, if any. Please note that some of the information included in this instruction may apply to immigrant visa classification other than diversity visas. So this is very important to know. So if you go to a particular embassy, they might give you specific instructions of that particular embassy. So let me give example. Let me go to Addis Ababa, which is Ethiopia. So Ethiopia, this is the instruction from the Ethiopia. They say U.S. Embassy Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, ADD. So once you do this, this is overall for those people who are doing the immigrant visa. Immigrant visa is going to include all visas as a permanent resident to come to America. Whether you are married to American citizen, whether you are coming here and maybe you are a child of American citizen, you are a spouse of green card you are spouse of the permanent resident and is processing for you to come to America, or you are getting sponsorship of work. In that particular situation, you will be, even if green card lottery, you will be able to do the medical first of all. You'll be able to do the medical. So they show you where you are going to do the medical. They'll tell you who are the doctors. These are the doctors in that particular hospital, and these are the physician, whatever, everything they give you there. Then they are going to give you the instructions. What the doctors will need you during the medical. They will need these kind of documentations. But this is not the part. During the medical, they will tell you. After the medical, when you are given the envelope, do not open that particular envelope. Bring that envelope to the interview. So let's say to the interview, what documents do they need? So these are the official documents needed by the embassy of that particular country you are. One is the copy of the interview. Does not apply to the DV visa, does not apply to the fiancé, adoptive, whatever. So this is the copy, that one. An expired passport valid for 6 months and beyond, whatever is there. Passport photos, confirmation page of the DSC 260, your original birth certificate, English translation is required, and the photocopy that way. Medical, you're supposed to have one, and the original or certified copies of the birth certificate of all children coming with you. So you need to know this one. Applicants who fall into any category below should bring the following. Listen very careful. For the family-based visa applicants, as I was saying, they needed to fill the form I-864, Affidavit of Support for each financial sponsor along in that particular situation. So you need to have that one. So all these kind of, this is for the family. This is for the family. This is for the family. For the employment-based, you need to have this kind of documentation. If you have been committed, caught in whatever document. So up to this particular moment in Ethiopia, there is no requirement of Form I-134 for the DV lottery winners. That is applicable only for the people who are going for the what type of visa? We are going for the type of visa only for family-based or the employment-based. So any visa, you can be able to do that. Let's say you are in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. That is where I'm from, Tanzania. So you go again, you go to look at the same information. So go to look like who is a approved doctor. Is there? How much is the visa fee? You will be told about that one. Fee the medical examination, age 15 will be this one. If you are going this one, it will be telling you exactly how much you needed to do that. But Again, what documents do you need to do? For the family-based, yes, you need to fill out the affidavit of support. But again, if you are going to do for the any other, so for the particular what we call the I-134, this form is not required to many embassies. So you have to look on the checklist of your embassy. For people, let's say I have so many people from Ghana, so Accra, Ghana. So you are going to look Accra, Ghana, the embassy in Ghana. So I will put the link and go and look on the country where you are going to do the interview. Will they require that one? If they say they require for the DV, go and put it there, but it's not required. In most of the embassy, is not required. So, and even if it says there you don't go with that one, they are not going to deny you the visa. They will tell you go and bring this document if they want that document, but you are not going to be denied the visa because you didn't go with that particular form. So they'll tell you if you want interpreter, what are the steps to come with interpreter? If you want the documents, what kind of things you need to have. So those are the important things you need to understand about the affidavit of support. So for that particular case, I've established 3 items. Number 1, the DS 5540 public charge questionnaire is no longer available. Even the form has been removed from the government website. That's number 1. And again, that one we have already been gone to explain that the affidavit of support has been removed from March 9th this year. It is here. It has been removed from March 9th, 2021, has been removed. So for that case, is not required. So this form is supposed to be filled by people who are doing the family-based, and the people who are doing the this one for only in the embassies you are for people who are coming on K visa. There are some of the materials people are going to give the differences. What are the differences between the affidavit of support, this one? So they say these are some of the forms. Is generally required for all K visa, K1 and K3 non-immigrant visas applicants. So those who are coming as citizens, spouses, whatever, those kind of things. But this one can also be filled by F1 or B1, B2 applicants. But that is if they need to show financial support. But the point is, those F1, you already shown this one through, in order to get the I-20, you have to show that. B1, B2, you have to show the evidence of work and all other information that will be able to come to your home country. So for that case, this form is mainly for people who are doing the K1 and K3 visas. So that is something I want to explain to you that way. Then someone else is also giving the same the difference of this one. Maybe they are talking about the differences, and they are saying, like, again, this one is also used more is why one is going to be used for more than most likely fiancé visas, those visas of that nature. So for that particular case, you are not required to fill this form unless otherwise the particular embassy where you are says that we are going to need you to fill this particular form. So don't volunteer yourself to fill this form. And if you are told to fill the form, who needs to fill that form? Let me explain. If you have to fill the what is called the sponsor. And overall, why is this form you don't need to fill this form? There are a few things you need to understand. The sponsor, if you say a sponsor, your host is not a sponsor. The host is just the address where you are going to stay in America. A host can be your friend who is not even an American citizen. They need just the address where you're going to stay. That is the place you are host. But if you are told to fill the I-134, or you are told to fill you need to have a sponsor. A sponsor must be a US citizen, or a sponsor must be someone who is a permanent resident. That is supposed to be a sponsor, if they tell you that way. And you need to know that if someone is a sponsor, there are restrictions. There are certain information that if that person is going to put this information, there are liabilities. Someone needs to do that. That means you are not supposed to get a food stamp. You are not supposed to have this kind of. There are some documentations which are required for someone to be a sponsor. Under this section 213 of the Act, which is I-134, if the person you are sponsoring becomes a public charge, the agents that provides assistance may be able to sue you to recover the cost of the assistance. So this is still talking about the public charge. And the supporting evidence someone needs to submit to you is a lot of the evidence, like the bank statement, the salary, or if you're self-employed, all this tax information. Someone needs to do that way so that you can prove that is a sponsor. But don't volunteer yourself to go and show. I come with the affidavit of support. Don't show that evidence to the embassy unless otherwise you are told to bring that document. But if you don't have that document, they will not say, we are not denying you the visa. They will tell you, go and bring this document. So that you need to understand. So the sponsor is supposed to be a US citizen or green card holder, someone who is here on a permanent basis, to be in a position to respond to so many things. Like there are so many instructions on how to fill the responsibilities, all those kind of things. Who completes the form, like even like the other one for the other US citizen, permanent resident, all those kind of things. Yeah. So those are the things you needed to make sure that you understand about the public charge and why these forms are very, very critical to know. So this kind of things I needed you to understand. Like if they tell you the public charge financial documents, these are the forms you needed to understand the financial documents. Let's say go on the evidence. All the financial sponsor, whatever completed the affidavit of support, should gather the evidence. This one. But remember, if you go to the particular embassy, I'm going to give you this link, the link of all US consulates, and you are going to put your country and see if your country or the embassy you are going to do needs to have people like you needed to have what they require, the visa. So Nairobi, for instance. So sorry. Okay, wait. So let's go to Nairobi. So this is how you do. You go there, you look like, do they require the affidavit of support? If it's not required, they will tell you. Yeah. So that is something you need to understand. What are the evidence or the documents required? So all these public affidavit of support is required for the family based. If you're a refugee, if you are employment, if you have been convicted, if you are whatever. So they tell you. Yeah. So if you needed to know specific, you can check the embassy, but don't go ahead and just plan to go and assume that they are going to give you the visa, but you're showing the public charge or the overall the information about how you can be able to fill the the affidavit of support in general. So up to that moment, now I can go ahead to answer some questions. Martin, you are saying the public charge is gone. Yes, public charge is already gone. That's why I want to people to understand. So what is the meaning of the affidavit of support? Affidavit of support is another terminology for public charge. So if the public charge is gone, it means the affidavit of support is not required unless otherwise you are sponsored by the family. You are sponsored by a company to be given a job and get all those kind of things. But a green card holder is through the applicant for the DV lottery is not a sponsored program to be given a green card. No one is going to sponsor you. But if I'm going to, let's say I'm an American citizen, I get married, I'm sponsoring someone. Someone gets the green card because of me being American citizen. For you as a green card winner, you are going to be green card because the US government give you the green card. So if the sponsor is the US government by themselves. That's why they don't need to have a public charge. I mean, they don't need to have US, I mean, the public, the US government by itself is the sponsor, is the one who is giving you that status. But if you get married, US citizen married into someone else, you are given the green card because your spouse is a US citizen. A child of the US citizen is getting green card because the US citizen, the person who is giving you, making you get the green card, is sponsoring you. But you don't fill the form like to show the sponsorship relationship between you and the government. No. So for that particular case, you don't need to have that one. Okay. Jule MK, I think. Good day. Can you tell about medical interviews time for Jamaica? Please, thanks. I don't understand your question. When you talk about the medical interviews, are you referring to once you get your interview schedule, when can you be able to go and check your date to do the medical? I don't know. Thank you, CQ from Somalia. Dominique Mensa, hello EBM, I'm watching you live from Ghana. Thanks very much for your selflessness. Thank you. Call me Ash, EBM, I'm from Uganda, but this is my first time to find you live. Thank you for your great work, great live from Uganda. Thank you so much, call me Ash. Nowadays I'll be going live every day around this time, every single day. This is my goal, to be able to go live every time. And if today is your first time to come on my YouTube channel, please remember to subscribe now. Right now, click the subscribe button and to be able to subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can be able to, once you subscribe to EBM Scholars, you can be able to get more details, opportunities, and sharing of all this kind of information. So thank you so much, everyone, for that kind of support. Okay. Sarah Wambui from Kenya, thank you so much. Kevo from Kanairo City, Nairobi in Kenya, thank you so much. Daniel Bennett Mensa, please sir, will I be needing a visa for failing one subject, mathematics, in high school? No. This DV lottery, they are not going to look for your grades. If they want to look for the grades, they don't care about high school. They could take people with bachelor degree or master's or PhD. This is not a merit-based immigration. The minimum qualification is high school or 2 years of qualifying work experience. So even if you don't have high school, you have 2 years of qualifying work experience, you will come. So what happened to someone who didn't go even to high school? So this is not about coming here to be admitted for bachelor or master's or PhD. So they're not going to look for your results. The person, CQ say, the person who is supporting you is in Ohio. Liz Cable is watching. Okay. Caleb Mutugi from Kenya, thank you so much. Nairobi, Kenya. EBM watching from South Africa. Fabrice Mulumba, official. I remember the Mulumba name. That is a very great name in Africa. Ladies Chocolate, hi EBM, watching you from Ghana. Thank you so much. Ghana is the land of chocolate and gold. And I usually watch it I like to watch one comedian, very funny guy from Ghana, Amankwa. That kid is so funny. I don't know whether it's a kid or he's old guy, but it's so funny. From Abu Dhabi, Rebecca Muhofa, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Major Carol. Someone from Pakistan, everybody, I really appreciate. So those are the things I wanted to make sure that you understand. Why do we need to put all these kind of things, people to understand that public charge is not there? So don't start yourself to go with the public charge document and whatever, getting frustrated. Your host is not a sponsor, it's just the address where you'll be able to arrive in America. Major, you are Carol, what about the affidavit of support for DV? I've already answered that one in detail, and I'll go to put the link at the end of this video on this live, where you can be able to find out if your embassy requires that kind of information. Please, Mike from Ghana, Akese TV. You are saying you are Mike from Ghana, and your case number is from Africa 50,700 something. When will I receive my second letter? You have to wait a little bit longer because, excuse me, your case number is very high case number. At the moment, they are still there. Up to May, they will be processing up to 34,000. So your case will be until maybe in August. Maybe you'll be able. You can receive in July for the August interview, or you can receive in August for the September interview. Rebecca Muhofa, you say my case number is among visa bulletin for April and May, but I have not got the first notification asking for the backup of documents. The first notification letter is the one you have won. That is the first notification. The second notification is the interview schedule date. They want to ask for the documents is not any notification, it's just they ask for the documents. They will ask you to the documents. Don't worry at all. They will ask you for the documents. At the moment, they are focusing for the people who were supposed to have the interview in October last year, in November, in December, January, and February, and a little bit of March. Those are the first priority people. Then they will go from there. Audi Juma, is public charge removed? Yes, 100% has been removed. So don't worry at all. Freddie Onchuru, I personally thank you, brother, for the good work you are doing. May you not lack. May you not lack in Jesus' name, brother. Amen to that. Thank you so much. Everybody, I appreciate your love from Bahrain, from Somalia, from all over the world, from Jamaica, from South Africa. So that is a very good way to be able to do that. Patrick Wilson is hoping, say, good work, sir. I pray to God this May I will be one among the winners. The results for the DV Lottery 2022 will be out on May 8, 2021. Those will be the results. The dates are not going to change. And once the results will be out, the schedule will continue as planned for October 1st to have the interviews as normal. How long it takes from KDIN to update your immigrant visas for 221? I don't understand the number, but it depends on the visa bulletin and the number they are there at the moment. Queen, I'm a DV 2022 applicant from Uganda. What I wanted to inquire is I don't have my high school certificate, both senior 4 and senior 6, because the school are no longer existing, but I got result slips and university certificate. Will that affect me? No, that will not affect you. Remember, even if you don't have that particular from the university, from your school in high school, there is a national certificate which shows how much, what grade did you get. Use those one from the national. There is no problem with that. Yeah, so I've already answered the Rebecca question about the interview. So I'm quickly going to answer a few questions because I have 15 minutes to get ready to go to another meeting. I've already answered. Alfred is who I don't know the proper name. Is the I-134 still required for the DV winners? No, unless otherwise a specific embassy requires it, but it's not required. Marie Claire. The funny part is Marie is my wife's name, and Claire is also my daughter's name. So that is very interesting combination. Marie Claire. You say, hi, EBM. I'm a single mother with 2 kids, 20 years old and 23 years old. At the application time, I mentioned the second kid. At the application time, I mentioned the second kid in DSC 260. I mentioned the second 2. What about the first kid? The first child who is above 21, even if you don't mention, there is no problem because that child doesn't come because he's above the age of 21. So the only one who will be coming together is the one at the age of 20. Audi Juma, you say tuko poa hapa pia, safi sana. You are speaking Swahili from Kenya, from Nakuru, Kenya. Thank you so much, everyone. Lee Smith, you are asking EBM when the results will be coming out. The results will be coming out on May 8, 2021. So thank you so much, everyone. In the Carol, you are saying, thank you, dear. What if I will sponsor myself? Number one, if they need a sponsor, you cannot sponsor yourself. You can sponsor yourself to go to be a student, but you cannot sponsor yourself to come as immigrant visa. If they need that form, the person is supposed to sponsor you must be in America and has to show those documentation. It doesn't matter whether you are Dangote with all the money, but if you want to come and they need a sponsor, they need to be American sponsor. Yeah, so Ladies Chocolate from Ghana say, please, the affidavit support based on the family base is supposed to be filled by a family or by blood or anyone who has promised to support you. First of all, number one person supposed to fill, if you are married, your spouse is supposed to fill that form, is your sponsor. If your spouse doesn't have that enough money, as long as your spouse is American citizen or green card holder, you can ask for a joint sponsor, even a friend. As long as he's having a commitment, he will go to sponsor you. That means if you become a public charge, they take the money from him, or from her. That is something you need to understand. So can it be any person as long as a US citizen or any other person who is a green card holder. So I have 3 minutes left. Richard Oti, I applied for the DV 2022 lottery. When I win and get married now, will it affect me? It doesn't affect you. It will affect you if you applied, you are already married and you didn't say you are married. You are the V winner from the case number in Africa 68. It is 6,800 around that one. When do I hope for the second? Excuse me. When do I hope for the second notification? Watching from Cameroon, you'll be able to get your case. The second notification very late by end of next week. I hope. Yeah. If by God's grace I can win. I win. Can you be able to be my host, Audi Juma? That will be something we need to discuss because now I've already hosting someone already. I've been able to answer all the questions with regard to public charge, and I would like to end up my live session right now. And as I mentioned, I'm going to put this information, the list of the embassies where you can be able to go to look at the immigrant visas status for everyone to be able to see. This will be able to help you a lot. Let me first of all put the same link I can put here on the chat, but also I can be able to do that. There is a question from Kwaku Mante Asiedu. You say, please, EBM, when is Congress going to pass the bill on the 80,000 increase? Not now at the moment, because it was not part of the COVID relief bill. So it's supposed to be going as a solo bill, which I'm going to explain the rationale and whether it will be able to pass or not to be able to pass. So I'll be able to explain that one in detail in a few days to come. So that is something I'll be able to explain. So this is the link I'm going to share. I've already posted there. You can be able to find it. And for those who speak Swahili, people who are able to speak Swahili, go to YouTube and type EBM Swahili. You will be able to find my YouTube channel for Swahili speaking. You can be able to go there and subscribe. Please do so, because that will be able to help me to grow also my other channel of Swahili channel. So do so. Go to the EBM Swahili or type youtube.com EBM Swahili and subscribe there if you speak Swahili. There are so many good videos on that particular channel. If you go there, I can show you quick here. You can be able and go and see there are over 100 and something videos which you can be able to see all these videos for you to be able to can get scholarships, can be get to understand the life abroad, and so many other things can be able to be found in those particular situation. So up to that moment, I would like to say thank you to everyone. I appreciate. May God bless you. Thank you, thank you. Remember to subscribe to EBM Scholars English videos. And remember to subscribe to EBM Swahili for the Swahili YouTube videos you can be able to find there. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much, everyone. May God bless you and have a wonderful time wherever you are. If you are in Africa, I know it is good evening now. But if you are in already, you are already in other countries, it might be morning. Some other countries will be afternoon. Thank you, everyone, and I wish you all the best, and may God bless you. Thank you also, Kwaku Mante Esiedu, for saying God bless you, EBM. You are the best. I pray we can meet in America. If you come to America, please visit in the Midwest, and you can be able to hang out and have some interview and enjoy some fufu and other type of food together. Yeah. Thank you, everyone, and may God bless you. Goodbye.